Hey everyone, welcome back to Eat the Cake Anime. I'm your host, Jay Renee.
And I'm her husband and sidekick Ron.
Yes, so Eat the Cake Anime, we have been doing so good this month, and now, y'all, okay. Grimm Variations. We're not even going to do an intro. Grimm Variations.
Okay, Grimm Variations is a new anime on Netflix, which consists of 6 different animated sequences, each written and produced by Studio Clamp. And this anime is infuriating.
Yeah, it has moments it has so many highs and lows, y'all. Where do we begin? It is really something. So it premiered last year.
Yeah.
Netflix, April 2024. So Grimm Variations is basically some beloved fairy tales that we all know and grew up with and things like that.
And a few we're not too familiar with.
Yeah, the few that aren't mainstream. But the whole premise is, what if these fairy tales had a dark turn or had a dark twist?
Yeah.
Like all fairy tales, near the end of the actual series, it talks about the sister of the Brothers Grimm talks about, everyone is always super nice and upstanding and great citizens in fairy tales, which is true, because they're always giving a kind of moral lesson or some kind of positive takeaway. But Grimm Variations is all about, what if these fairy tales that we knew and loved didn't have those happy endings.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, from the first one, it's only 6. And the first one was, we can go ahead, the first one was Cinderella.
Yeah.
Yeah, and with the Cinderella one, everyone knows the story of Cinderella, how she was treated poorly by her wicked stepmother, or
evil stepsisters.
And things like that. And her dad died and left her all alone, and she was forced to become a servant in her own home. Let me tell you something, Grimm Variations, nah, we're gonna do this differently. Not only does it have the sinister twist, but it's Japanese in its storytelling and origins and things like that, based on beloved childhood fairy tales.
Now, this anime turns all these fairy tales on their ear. I can't even give you an accurate description of how twisted this stuff turns out to be.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
It's a mindfuck. It's mind bending, like truly.
Now, with these 6 different segments, I'm going to go 50-50. Half of them were good. Half of them straight up lost me. But the first one, Cinderella, what you know or what you think you know, you don't know.
You don't know anything about it. Yeah, the first one had us looking and saying, okay, The second one had us sitting up saying, the second one was based on Little Red Riding Hood. We were sitting up there like, this is, oh hell no, oh no, oh blah. I mean, we were saying all the things and going through all the emotions. We got to the third one and we were kind of, okay, yeah, probably the one that's in the middle, that's kind of
artsy.
Not as compelling as the others. Then we got to the fourth one and it was, okay,
still artsy fartsy.
Yeah, this is what this is. Now the fifth one was actually very good, and it reminded me, this one was the tales of the musicians of Bremen. Is that the one?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's based on, y'all, this fairy tale is not like really mainstream. It's more based on this old German fairy tale about these farm animals. And these farm animals, it was a lesson in, like old farm animals and working together and still being, able to, do things despite your age. Now that's the original fairy tale premise. But for this particular Grimm Variation, it's 4 women. And it's set in
the future.
Kind of like a futuristic Old West.
Yeah.
So it had us sitting up again, and it was like, whoa, wait, like, what's going on here? It was really, I really, really liked it. The last one was based on the Pied Piper. And okay, so let's go back. Really sorry, you guys. I know we're about 5 minutes in, but let's go back really quickly. So the Grimm Variations is based on 6 fairy tales. you have Cinderella, you have Red Riding Hood, you have the Elves and the Shoemaker, you have
Hansel and Gretel.
You have Hansel and Gretel. You have the one that I just mentioned, the musicians of Bremen.
Town Musicians of Bremen.
The Town Musicians of Bremen, and you have the Pied Piper.
Correct.
So, in going through all of those, like I said, Cinderella, very traditional, starts off with a bang. Red Riding Hood will have you saying, whoa, like what is happening? But then when you go into it, the ones in the middle, like the Hansel and Gretel one, it was very interesting, but in a very, what do you call it, babe? Like a generic kind of way, or it's very sparse.
Mm-hmm.
It's very sparse. And then when you got to, go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say, what it reminded me of was Promised Neverland, but not quite.
Right.
Very close, but not quite.
Yes. And y'all, listen, those of you all that are familiar with Promised Neverland, I don't think we're going to review that, because if we ever do, then I'm going to trash it, because the first season was great. The second season was
trash.
Hot ass garbage. Yes. So Promised Neverland, it did give you kind of those vibes. But then when you got to the last two, it was just kind of, oh, okay. And there was a centralized theme through all of them. And I'm noticing that with these anthology series, babe.
Yeah, but with this particular one, you don't catch it until the tail end.
Right, till the very end, because you're busy watching, wondering like, well, why is this, and what does this look like? What even made them put these fairy tales, giving them a dark and a more sinister twist? But I must say, it works.
Yeah, the giveaway at the end makes you say, oh.
Yes, and I was literally sitting there saying that. I was like, oh, that's what that is. And it made so much sense. So if you like a psychological thriller that has a level of familiarity to it, I think this would be a good one for you.
Oh, yeah.
I think you'd really, really like it. Like I said, there's so many good psychological animes out there, and we have our choices, but we're trying to choose the ones that aren't just the regular ones that you hear about all of the time.
Yeah.
Even though we have reviewed, some favorites, but there's some that just kind of get into you. And with the Grimm Variations, even the music with the Grimm Variations, it plays with your mind, because the music, they're all classical scores. It's all classical scores that There's Beethoven, there's Strauss, there's Chopin, but it's done in a different
It's got
genre.
A twist on it.
Yes, it is so different, because I found myself humming during one of the shows, and I'm just like, oh, that's
what this is.
Whatever, yeah. And then it makes you go back and like, oh, is this what I was listening to? So yeah, Grimm Variations, I say that I put it in the psychological thriller anime genre simply because the way that it twists not only the storyline, but the characters themselves.
Yeah.
We all consider, for example, Cinderella or Miyuko, or in this case, we consider Cinderella, oh my goodness, this little helpless person that just needs somebody to believe in her. They need that fairy godmother type,
To quote my inner Sam Jackson, she.
Hey man, listen, Sam is right on this one, because it is not like you think. We do know that this is actually, available on Netflix, and I tried to find it in other places and I couldn't. So my whole thing is, if you're going to watch it, you need to check it out on Netflix, because I didn't see it on the other streaming services that we like to use. So yeah, it's definitely not in the mainstream other than Netflix. And like I said, it's an anthology series. And have you noticed with these anthologies, they're very quick. Like these were like maybe 35, 45 minutes per episode. Correct. But there's a common thread that permeates through the entire anthology series. And it makes me wonder if they'll even bother with a season 2.
Yeah, with that, some of it you might catch, some of it you won't. Like, I didn't catch it until the tail end. When, I saw the final scene or what have you, and that tied everything in for me together. But, watch it. It's actually worth the watch. Yeah. I'm not going to give it a perfect score. Yeah, it's worth the watch. Yeah,
it is worth the watch. Like I said, there were some hips and dips and some little things that had us kind of looking like, if we had a choice, would we watch something else?
Yeah,
I think we would. So rating this from 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. 3, 2, 1, 6. Oh my goodness, that is so funny. That is so funny. So we both rated a 6. And for, like I said, the obvious reasons. Now, it's only 6 episodes. You can actually choose the one that you want to watch. You don't have to watch them in order. But we would recommend, if you do watch it, just press play and just don't get up until it's done, because then you'll start to see the commonality that each one of them has. And if you're able to figure it out until the end, before the end, then kudos to you, because we did not.
Nope.
Yeah, we did not catch it until the end. And then that made me want to go back and be like, okay, well, let me see this. Let me check that. And if you are inquisitive, and if you like to see things like that, and if you want to see a psychological thriller anime that is, that's not long, I would say that Grimm Variations is for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so anything else, babe? Hey, Eat the Cake Anime, we have gotten such positive feedback. You guys have been awesome. And thank you so much for some of the recommendations that we've received for this month and for shows to come.
Mm-hmm. And we will continue to reach forth every day and try to grab both old and new anime.
Mm-hmm.
Say, I'm happen to be one of those anime fans who lived in New Jersey and was able to go to New York, so I've actually been watching anime since the 80s.
Yeah, so I don't know what living in New Jersey and going to New York has to do with anything, but I'm from the South, and honey, we were in it early.
Bootleg VHS.
And some of us, we still love it. So it's for all anime lovers out there, regardless of your age. Yes, we know we're older, but we just love anime. We love the feeling that it gives us. We love the conversations that it sprouts. Y'all, we have talked to complete strangers just by wearing like an anime button or passing out a t-shirt or the Eat the Cake anime card or whatever, and people are like, oh, you're in the anime? And then we have conversations in the craziest places, and it's all thanks to you guys, liking our show, talking about it, making recommendations. We really, really appreciate it.
Yeah.
So at Eat the Cake Anime, hey, Grimm Variations, check it out. It's available on Netflix. Let us know what you think. And until next time, that's all we have. Producer Ron, anything else?
Thank you, guys. See you later.
Yeah. And remember, it's okay to enjoy anime.